Have you ever wondered what made Kobe Bryant truly great? Was it just talent? Or was there something deeper? What if the story behind the championships, the buzzer beaters, and the iconic moments wasn't just about skill, but about hidden struggles, personal battles, and secrets he kept to himself? What was Kobe like when the cameras were off? What did he fear? And what drove him to wake up at 3 a.m. to train harder than anyone else? Today on GOAT Report, we're going beyond the highlights. We're diving into the lesser-known side of Kobe Bryant, the part he didn't show the world. If you're ready to uncover the truth behind the Black Mamba's greatness, hit that like button and subscribe to GOAT Report, because this is the Kobe Bryant story you've never heard before. Let's begin. The obsession no one talks about. Kobe Bryant wasn't just a basketball player. He was completely obsessed. Most people saw him as a hard worker, but they didn't realize how deep that drive really went. Kobe didn't just practice because he had to, he lived for it. He breathed it. He even slept with a basketball next to him at night. There were times he would wake up at 3 a.m. not because someone told him to, but because he wanted to get better. He believed that true success belonged to those who worked harder than everyone else. His training wasn't just a few hours a day. He'd train in the morning for 6 hours, then again in the afternoon, and again in the evening. That kind of routine isn't just motivation, it's obsession. But what's wild is that he never showed it in an obvious way. Behind that calm face and quiet smile was someone who was pushing himself far beyond what anyone could see. He played through pain, real pain. Many fans knew that Kobe played through injuries, but most didn't realize how much pain he quietly dealt with. There were times when his fingers were so badly hurt he couldn't even hold the basketball the right way. Instead of sitting out, he did something amazing. He changed the way he shot the ball, right in the middle of the season, and he never told anyone. In 2013, Kobe suffered one of the worst injuries an athlete can face: a torn Achilles tendon. It's the kind of injury that usually leaves players on the floor screaming in pain. But not Kobe. He didn't cry. He didn't yell. He simply stood up, limped to the free throw line, made 2 shots, and walked off the court. That wasn't just physical strength, that was mental strength too. He had a kind of control over his body and mind that most people can't even imagine. The quiet war with teammates. Kobe didn't always have smooth relationships with his teammates. In fact, he pushed them really hard. There were times when they argued, yelled at each other, and had silent tension in the locker room. But it wasn't because Kobe was mean or wanted to hurt anyone. It was because he had high standards. He wanted everyone to care about winning as much as he did. He once said, "If you're not as obsessed with winning as I am, we're not going to get along." That says it all. He pushed people to give everything they had. Some couldn't handle it and gave up. Others got stronger because of it. But Kobe never made these things public. He didn't share those behind-the-scenes struggles with the world. He kept it all quiet because for him, the only thing that mattered was getting results. Winning came first, and everything else stayed in the background. He studied enemies in the dark. Kobe didn't just go out and play basketball. He studied it deeply, like a scientist or even a spy. He didn't only watch highlight videos. He watched full games of the players he was going to face. He paid attention to the small things most people would miss: how they breathed when they were tired, how they moved when they were slightly hurt, and which foot they used to turn when under pressure. He watched their every move until he could predict what they would do. He learned their habits, their strengths, and especially their weaknesses. Then he used that knowledge quietly, without showing off. Most people didn't know that Kobe kept notebooks filled with details about other players, not just their game style, but also their personalities, tempers, and how they reacted in tough moments. For Kobe, this wasn't just basketball, it was a battle, and he made sure he was always one step ahead. He had a secret mentor outside basketball. While Kobe is often seen as self-made, he secretly leaned on someone outside basketball: John Williams, the legendary film composer. Why? Because Kobe didn't just want to be great in sports. He wanted to understand creativity, storytelling, and music. John Williams taught him how to build rhythm, how silence can be more powerful than noise. Lessons that later helped Kobe write scripts, craft stories, and even win an Oscar. That connection was quiet, rarely shared, but it helped Kobe become something more than an athlete. His darkest year was in private. In 2003, Kobe's life changed overnight. He was accused of sexual assault. The world judged him, brands dropped him, his image shattered. But what many didn't know was how alone he felt, how much he cried at home, how hard he prayed, how he almost quit basketball completely. He stayed silent in the public eye, but inside, he was breaking. This was the year he stopped being a kid and became something else. Not everyone forgave him, but he fought to rebuild not just his career, but his character. He spoke multiple languages to outsmart rivals. Here's a secret most fans never knew. Kobe spoke fluent Italian and also learned Spanish. Sometimes he even spoke in French. Why? So he could talk to international teammates and confuse his opponents. He'd speak in Spanish with Pau Gasol during timeouts, or whisper trash talk in Italian so other players wouldn't understand. He turned language into a secret weapon, not for fun, but for advantage. That's how deep his game went. He had a fear of failure, but never showed it. People always saw Kobe as fearless, but inside, he had deep fears. He once said, "I'm scared of not trying. I'm scared of being average." Failure haunted him, not just in games, but as a father, a husband, a creator. He feared letting his daughters down. He feared not living up to his own vision. But he hid it behind his Mamba face. Cool, sharp, focused. Only a few people close to him knew the truth, that his strength came from fear, not the absence of it. The secret life after retirement. When Kobe retired in 2016, most thought he'd just relaxed, but he didn't. What the world didn't see was that he went straight back into a grind, just in a new world. He started a media company, wrote children's books, directed short films, taught young athletes at his Mamba Academy. He kept the same intense schedule: early mornings, meetings, writing, coaching, filming. Kobe didn't slow down, he just changed courts. And most of his work never got public attention. Because he didn't care about fame anymore, he wanted to build something that would outlive him. And he prepared for death years before it came. This may be the most haunting secret of all. Kobe talked about death often. He believed legacy mattered more than lifespan. He wrote in journals about what he'd leave behind. He recorded voice notes to his daughters, just in case something happened. He told friends, "If I die tomorrow, I want my girls to know who I really was." When he passed in 2020, the world was shocked. But some of his close friends said he always knew time was short, and he planned like it. He was building a kingdom, not just a brand. Many athletes launch shoes or clothes, but Kobe wanted more. He was building a full brand empire. He had long-term plans for Mamba Sports Academy. He was working on a sports drink brand. He wanted to launch his own basketball league focused on women's sports. And yes, he even looked into owning an NBA team. But it was all being done quietly behind the scenes. Kobe wasn't chasing fame, he was chasing power. Real power to shape the future of sports and education. The love he rarely talked about. Everyone saw Kobe as a fierce competitor, but he had a soft, quiet side, especially with his daughters. Gianna was his shadow. He called her Mambacita. He believed she'd carry his legacy. He once told someone, "She's better than I was at her age. She just gets it." But what few knew was that Kobe spent hours every week helping her study basketball film. He wrote drills for her, taught her moves he never taught anyone else. When they died together, it broke the world, but it also revealed the deep, hidden love he kept away from the cameras, why he hid so much. So why did Kobe keep these secrets? Because he believed in focus. He didn't want distractions. He didn't want pity or praise. He just wanted results. He believed actions mattered more than words. He wanted people to see the work, not the struggle. To see the wins, not the fear. His secrets weren't dark, they were simply personal. They showed that Kobe wasn't perfect. He was human, flawed, but fiercely determined. What we can learn from Kobe's secrets. Kobe's secrets aren't just for fans, they're lessons. They show that greatness is messy, that behind every smooth move is years of pain, that success demands obsession, sacrifice, and sometimes silence. They teach us to push even when no one's watching, to keep growing even when people think you've already made it, to protect what matters most, quietly. Kobe didn't just want to win games, he wanted to win life. And in many ways, he did. Kobe Bryant may be gone, but his secrets, they're still with us. Not written in news headlines, not shown in his trophies, but felt in those quiet early mornings, in the silent battles he fought alone, and in the hard work nobody ever saw. Greatness doesn't always make noise. Sometimes it whispers. So now that you know the side of Kobe that he kept hidden, what does it make you think about your own journey? What are your quiet moments? And what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? If this story gave you something to think about, if it inspired you even a little, then make sure to like this video and subscribe to G.O.A.T Report, because here we don't just talk about greatness, we go deep into what makes it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.